it's possible to use the truths of the gospel to serve ourselves, our own egos, our own pride, rather than putting ourselves at the service of the gospel. In the first reading in the gospel today, we hear that there's at least a decent number of priests and Pharisees and scribes who are teaching those things that serve their own reputations, and they love titles and places of honor. And pastors can do these kinds of things. For example, God deserves our best, and when we make a financial return, it should come from our first fruits for His glory. True. We have the duty to take care of our parishes. True. Pastors have the responsibility of providing leadership. True. Now, perhaps a pastor believes that there should be a special vestment for every season on a 3-year cycle, so when you see the Advent vestments, you will only see that once every 3 years. For the glory of God. Really, Reverend Pastor? Is that really for God's glory, or do you just kind of want this for yourself? Many true teachings can be manipulated and become self-serving. I know I have my own personal favorites. For example, the church teaches that it's always wrong to hit somebody, but it's a mortal sin to hit a priest. And if this were retroactive, my brother Kevin would burn. Of course, he's going to try to tell Jesus it was self-defense. St. Francis of Assisi, he had a great respect for the dignity of the priesthood, even to the point that he said if he came across a priest and an angel or a saint that came down from heaven, such as St. Lawrence the deacon, he said that he would show a sign of respect to the priest first. And as a deacon, and people knowing how holy he is, they encouraged him to become a priest, but he refused, saying that he was not worthy to be a priest. And I must say, only a very few of us really are worthy to be priests. I don't know if you've ever caught yourself having your own pet doctrines that might serve yourself. Every once in a while, I'll hear a senior citizen who kind of complains that the kids don't come around much, to help with outside chores or whatever. Like, Father, doesn't the fourth commandment honor your father and mother? Don't you? So, are you really concerned about the salvation of their souls, or are you just trying to get your lawn ratings? Or have we ever come to church on Christmas or Easter twice as early as usual, so we're here 10 minutes early instead of 5, and found people sitting in our pews? And the whole area all around it. And because they're not coming to church every weekend, they don't realize it's our pews. And we wish maybe Father would hammer that gospel commandment to keep holy the Sabbath every weekend while those Christmas and Easter people are in our pews. That too is self-serving. As we heard in the first reading, have we not all the one Father? Has not the one God created us? Rather than thinking we're better and we own a piece of plank in the church. If we select small parts of the gospel and use them to serve our own egos, we are like the scribes and the Pharisees of whom Jesus describes. They preach, but they do not practice. At the ordination of a deacon, the bishop will hand the book of the Gospels to the new deacon, and the deacon holds the bottom of the Gospels, and the bishop says, "Believe what you read, preach what you believe and practice what you preach. Profound words. And if we want to be true believers, we will not have pet doctrines that serve ourselves, but rather we will believe in the entire gospel message, particularly those that challenge us the most, and then put those teachings into action.